What's up, this is Jordan with Tactics Boardshop, and right now I'm going to show you how to do a basic snowboard wax that you can do at home. So what you need is some citrus base cleaner, some wax, either a metal edge scraper, a plastic scraper, some towels, and a Scotch-Brite pad. So first thing you're going to want to do is take some base cleaner and just kind of drizzle a little bit on your base, get all the contaminants off, all the dirt. Just kind of rub that in there until it evaporates, and until your base, it's going to look a little bit drier after you put this stuff on there, which is really going to take off all the wax and all the contaminants. Just let that dry and you'll be ready to wax. So right here I have some all temp wax. It comes in a variety of temperatures, usually all temp, cold, and then warm. All temp is, depending on your conditions, where you live, all temp's a good choice. It's going to get you, either those really cold days or those warm days. This is a good happy medium right in the middle. You're going to take your iron and just apply the wax to the iron and just drip it on the base. Make the drips pretty even, spread them out. You don't need a ton of wax, but make sure you do get it up to the edges. That's going to be the spot that you're going to notice that dries out the quickest on your snowboard. So make sure you get that wax all the way to the edges and, dripped evenly across the base of the board. And you don't need to worry about getting it all the way on the nose and tail. It's typically not going to be in the snow and not going to really have a factor on whether or not you're going to be going fast or not. And make sure your iron, isn't cranked up all the way. Right now it's a little high, that's why it's smoking, but, turn it down. You don't want it too hot. So, just take your iron once the wax is dripped on there and just evenly smooth all those drips out over the whole base. Circle motion's pretty good. Gets it down in the base, spreads it out pretty evenly. Just gonna want to make sure you cover the whole base nice and even. So once you get the wax spread out all even across the base, you're gonna want to turn your iron off, set it to the side, make sure it's somewhere where the wax isn't going to drip on anything, because there will be some wax dripping off the base of there. And just go ahead and let your base dry. Wait until it takes about 5 to 10 minutes until it's it's nice and cool, and the base is no longer warm to the touch. So once the base is cool to the touch and the wax is all dry, you're going to want to take your metal edge scraper or your plastic scraper, pretty much at your discretion whether or not you want to use one or the other. The metal, I find, is a little bit sharper and takes the wax off a little bit easier, but the plastic is a little bit safer and you won't have nearly as much risk of damaging your base when scraping. So for beginners and anyone who hasn't waxed their board by themselves before, I would recommend the plastic, but if you've been doing this for a while or you feel pretty confident, go ahead and use the metal one. So what you're going to want to do is even pulls towards you and not pushing against the board. So pull back really even. You don't have to go the whole length of the board, but you can. Just doing short little strokes like this. You can see the wax flaking off right there. Nice even strokes that are going to ensure that you get all the wax off and that it's not going to damage your base. Scraping is one of those things that's also at your discretion. Depending on the conditions, springtime, usually I find you don't need to scrape your board, but definitely on those pow days, getting a good layer of wax on there and then scraping it off is going to make the whole difference in the world on whether or not you're going to be able to, zoom around pretty fast, or you're going to be slow when the snow gets dry and stuff like that. So once you get your whole board scraped, you're going to want to take your Scotch-Brite pad and you're just going to want to buff out the extra wax that didn't come off with the scraper that is in the pores of the base. This is just going to ensure that you get the most even finish and that the wax is smoothed over the entire base. Circle motions are pretty good. Really, you can polish it. You'll actually be able to see it get shinier the more you use this Scotch-Brite pad. And the smoother the base, the faster it's going to go. So yeah, once you get that all scraped up and buffed out, you're pretty much ready to head to the hill and have a good time. Waxing is one of those things that's kind of essential to know as a snowboarder. It's fun, saves you time and money, good ritual, searching for those powder days. If you have any questions or comments, drop them in the box below, or if you need any tuning gear, head over to tactics.com.